Hey folks, it's Tom, your frugal prepper. I'm out here taking a look at this 99 Oldsmobile Silhouette. There's the owner. You've seen him on a couple of my videos. This is my friend Eric. So it's making a noise on the belt, the drive belt or serpentine belt. It's a rattly sound. It sounds kind of like the AC compressor clutch. However, the air conditioning doesn't work on this, but I want to engage the clutch to see if the noise changes. So I'm going to show you how we do that, and I'm going to use the new power probe to do it. You could also use a test light to provide the ground in the same way if you don't have a power probe, but since Erico sent me a free power probe, I'm going to use it. Okay, so if you can hear the noise down in here, that little rattling sound, that suspiciously sounds like an AC compressor clutch to me. So what I'm going to do to eliminate that is normally if you engage the AC, that noise will go away because the clutch grabs tight. But the air conditioning doesn't work on this, so I need to force it to engage the AC clutch, and I'll show you how we do that. Alright, so what I've done is I've set up my power probe here. I hooked it up. It's alive. I've got it on tip voltage. And so right here is my AC compressor clutch relay. So what you'll see is there's a little diagram on these that tells you which pin is which. But if you also look at the side, the load side of the relay where the current actually flows for the clutch is usually more copper colored. And that's these two pins here. And these are the control side. Alright, so I'm going to show you real quick what we're actually doing here on this wiring diagram for this old Silhouette. So what we have here is the AC clutch relay. Here is the load side of the relay, and when this relay closes, it makes contact, and it then provides voltage here. Now it can't flow through this diode to get directly to a ground, but it can flow over this way, and it energizes the AC compressor clutch, and then gets a ground on the other side of it. And that will cause that clutch to engage. And so what we want to do is turn the relay on. We could just provide voltage right here at this pin on the relay and provide 12 volts that would energize the clutch. However, if you get confused and you back probe the wrong pin, I'll show you why that would be disastrous. Or I guess you kind of front probe those. You're not really going in the back. But if you provide voltage down to this driver circuit that goes to the PCM, this will fry your PCM. So what happens is this, both of these become hot when the ignition is on. This is the hot side of the control side of the relay. And then the computer provides a ground through this coil in the relay, right? And then that allows that coil to energize, and when it energizes, it clicks the switch closed and then provides the 12 volt higher current circuit here for the AC compressor clutch, the electric it needs to engage. So if you accidentally back probe this driver while hooked to the PCM and shove 12 volts down on it, there's a good possibility you're going to blow this driver out of the PCM, and you're going to have to replace the PCM to ever make the air conditioning work again. And you could blow more than the driver, right? You could blow the whole PCM that way. So this is where you could get yourself in trouble with the power probe, is thinking I'm just going to go right here, send 12 volts down. You accidentally send it down here instead. You can do it that way. I like to take the approach of just providing the ground right here. If I provide this ground, it energizes this relay and allows it to run, and I'm only providing a ground, so I'm not going to blow the PCM with the ground. Like I said, you could do this with a test light as well. Since I have the power probe, it's very handy. I can measure all these voltages, make sure I have what I'm supposed to have, and see which side's grounded, and provide the power, or the ground, to turn this on. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to energize this clutch, and when it's energized, see if the rattling sound goes away, and it probably will, and then we can make a confirmed diagnosis that it needs an AC compressor clutch without having to take anything apart. So if we plug that back in, we'll know that our control side is these two corners. So what you can do is see which one is the ground, which would be controlled by the computer normally, and then there'd be voltage on the other one. So that shows a ground now. Go ahead and turn the ignition on, but don't start it. So with the ignition on, one of these will be hot and one will be a ground when the computer commands it to be on. So we see with the ignition on, this pin's hot and this pin should have nothing right now. And so what we're going to do, now you could go onto the control side and figure out one of these will be hot and one of these will be a ground back through the coil on the compressor. And you could apply voltage there, but if you got that wrong, you'd fry the computer. So the way I like to do this is, now that I've identified what is the computer control for the control side of the relay, plug my relay back in, leave it just a little loose and slide in on the corner of it, like so. And then I can come here, and now if I ground this, I should hear it click if I'm on it. Let me get on it here. Is the ignition still on?
Yeah.
There it goes. Now it's clicking. That means I'm providing control for that AC compressor clutch now. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start it up. We'll hear the noise. Hopefully when you engage the clutch, the noise will disappear. That'll tell us it's the AC compressor clutch making that noise. Let's go ahead and start it up. Okay, you can hear that rattling. Now I'll engage the compressor clutch. The rattling goes away. So that tells you that it's the clutch without having to do any further diagnosis, even though the air conditioning doesn't work on this. Alright folks, so you could definitely do that exact same test with a test light hooked to a ground. You provide the ground to that relay, it energizes. Test light can usually pull about 1/4 of an amp, a standard incandescent test light, and that will energize that relay. And that's a safe way to do it because you're only probing around with the ground. You're not putting positive into anything and run the risk of choosing the wrong pin and frying the powertrain control module. We're going to get a compressor out of the junkyard. That compressor's actually got a leak in it. That's where the Freon went. That's why the AC doesn't work. So we're going to get one out of the junkyard, hopefully from a car that maintains pressure, and replace that. It comes out the bottom. It's not too hard of a compressor to do. And then we might be able to go ahead and vac it down and get some Freon in it and get his air conditioning working again for him, which will be nice in this kind of heat to have some AC. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Everybody, be happy, be frugal out there.